Hi guys, my name is Sumrit.
And I'm Zik, and we'll be joined by Sahil, our in-home cricket expert.
So today, welcome to the Cityscope studio in Hong Kong, and we're going to do a two-part IPL review, IPL 2020.
Yeah, so much has happened this year with the coronavirus pandemic, and there's good news. Despite all the cancellations and everything, we're back starting from September 19th with the 13th edition of the IPL.
So we're going to do it 4 different teams, which is going to be Chennai Super Kings, Delhi Capitals, XI Punjab, and Kolkata Knight Riders. So let's start with Chennai Super Kings. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Chennai Super Kings are 3 times winners of the 2010, 2011, and 2018 editions of the IPL. They're a very experienced team led by Captain Cool MS Dhoni, and as we all know, he retired from international cricket this year, and all eyes will be on him as everyone will be rooting for his team to win. This might be his last IPL, so everyone wants him to win. But this year, not during the squad will be Suresh Raina and Harbhajan Singh. So this might be a major blow for CSK. So what do you think about the top 5 players of their team?
The top 5 player definitely MS Dhoni, Captain Cool, is probably his last IPL. He wanted to perform well before he exit. And we have Shane Watson, one of the really good batting all-rounder from Australia who actually represent for the country more than 100 matches, who performed really well in T20 format. Then we have Imran Tahir, South African player who performed really well for leg spin, and his googly can always surprise anyone. Then we have Ravindra Jadeja, one of the best off spinner, fielder, and batsman in India team, and is one of the players we should watch out. And definitely we have DJ Bravo, the Dwayne Bravo, one of the greatest, I would say, legend for West Indies cricket in terms of bowling and batting. So he's going to be a really good player, and let's see what he does in this edition.
So yeah, what are their chances of winning? What do you think?
This year I think they're going to be a big chance because they are really experienced players and they don't have really a lot of uncapped players. So definitely I might root for them, but let's see how it happens.
Yeah, I think they have a really good chance to win, and they will be one of the biggest favorites to this tournament, especially as MS Dhoni might be his last IPL as well. Alright, so let's talk about Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals have never won the IPL, and they're led by Shreyas Iyer this year, and they're coached by Ricky Ponting. Shreyas Iyer is a very young captain, but he has a lot of experienced players with him this tournament. So he has Shikhar Dhawan, Ishant Sharma, and he has even Amit Mishra to help guide him as well. So what are the top 5 players in their team?
Top 5 player definitely Shreyas Iyer. He's a really unorthodox captain from Mumbai, but played really well last season, which got the team into the playoff. Definitely one of the players we should watch out for. There's Shikhar Dhawan. He's performing really well across all the formats for India, and T20 he can hit really well, especially when it was Sunrisers Hyderabad. So definitely one of the players you should watch out for. Then we have Marcus Stoinis, who just got transferred from XI Punjab, a batting all-rounder. He played really well against England in the last series in T20. So we never know how he performed this time. Then we have Rishabh Pant, a young exciting talent, wicket keeper, a batsman from Delhi. Definitely one of the other players. And Ishant Sharma, packed with experiences, fast bowling, he can definitely lead the young uncapped player in the team in terms of fast bowling.
So yeah, what are their chances of winning? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think they might get into the top 4 like last season, but again, it's a Dubai pitch. There's a lot of unexperienced players, so it might be really tough for them to win. But I feel they might get to top 4 like last time.
For me, I think they have a very slim chance of winning, but I think they're a wild card, as you never know. You can never predict what happens on the day of the match. So let's see. So yeah, let's talk about Kings 11 Punjab.
That's my favorite team.
Yeah, but they've never won an IPL, but they've come close twice as well. But they're led by KL Rahul, one of my favorite batsmen, especially from last year's performance against West Indies, was top notch. And I'm very excited to see how he leads the team and how he bats this tournament. So yeah, they're a mix of experience and new players in their team. So tell me more about their top 5 players.
Top 5 player definitely KL Rahul, one of the exciting talent in India right now, who actually can be really versatile. He can be a wicket keeper, he can be a batsman, and he can be a captain as well. And Chris Gayle, who was a world record holder for 175 runs for RCB, I think 2 years ago. So he definitely must watch out. He retired already, but he still has that talent in him. Then we have Glenn Maxwell. Even though he didn't perform really well against England last series, but in Dubai he always performed well, especially in 2014 when they played against the different teams in IPL. He played really well, both off-spin and batting. Then we have Mohammad Shami. His hat-trick against Afghanistan was surprisingly good. And Chris Jordan, he's a really good batting all-rounder for England, and definitely one of the players we should watch out for.
So yeah, what are their chances of winning?
I would definitely say they will win this year because this is my favorite team. But if you see their whole team composure, they have a lot of uncapped players, almost 11 of them. So that they really have to step up, and the experienced player had to really lead them on the way.
and I hope they win as well for your sake as well. But I think the chances of that happening is very slim. But it's also unpredictable because they have a very good batting order as well. But their bowlers let them down, like in the bowling department.
Especially in every edition, that's what happened to them.
Yeah.
So maybe let's see. So let's talk about KKR, Kolkata Knight Riders. Tell us about KKR.
So they're two-time winners. The Shah Rukh Khan team led by Dinesh Karthik. They made headlines this year because they spent 15.5 crores on Pat Cummins this year, which is the highest ever purchase in IPL history, especially for overseas players. So yeah, what are their top 5 players?
Definitely Dinesh Karthik. He debuted before MS Dhoni, but he's still playing really well, especially against Bangladesh Chandidas Trophy, where India's going to lose the whole series. He actually hit that 6 in the last ball to cross the line for them. Then we have Pat Cummins, 15 crores. That's a lot of money, especially for IPO transfer. But he didn't really perform really well at T20 form in the past few years. But definitely to watch out in Dubai. And we have Andrew Russell. He always performed really well because he's a really good all-rounder. He performed well for the national team, and for KKR he played really well last edition. So definitely one of the players we should watch out for. And we have Sunil Narayan, who actually started to open for different T20 franchise in BPL as well as in the CPL. So his off-spin is good. He's the only bowler who actually made it in a super over. I think he's going to perform really well this year, especially in Dubai. And last but not least, Ian Morgan, who actually helped England to beat Australia in the last T20 series. His captaincy is unorthodox. He can perform well on his day. So let's see what happens to KKR. What do you think, they're going to win this year?
I think they're a very heavily favored team. I think they have a really good lineup. And I think that a lot of their players have been benched, however, but I think due to the coronavirus and everything, it depends on the first couple of games. Their players might be overperforming or they might be in top form. You never know. What about you? What do you think?
I think KKR, they might get into top 4 like last time, but definitely we will watch out, especially after COVID and is a Dubai pitch. It might be tough, but I think they will get to the big playoff.
Yeah. So let's talk to Sahil, our in-home cricket expert. So over to you, Sahil.
Hi everyone, I'm Sahil. Hope you're doing well. Let's do a quick SWOT analysis on the 4 teams: Chennai Super Kings, Delhi Capitals, Kings 11 Punjab and Kolkata Knight Riders. Beginning with Chennai Super Kings, their strengths. Well, everyone knows Mahendra Singh Dhoni as the captain, and the core unit that has been there in the past few years has been the same. That's the reason why they have been so successful. They don't make many changes, they stick to their plans, and everyone in the team knows their roles. Weaknesses: there is no Suresh Raina. He is the highest run scorer in IPL, but this season he has pulled out due to personal reasons. There is no Harbhajan Singh. Well, these two will surely be missed, but at the same time, it will provide opportunities to youngsters like Sai Kishore and Rituraj Gaikwad who are in the squad, as well as experienced campaigners like Karan Sharma, Murli Vijay and Piyush Chawla might get few more games under their belt. Threats: well, if one can say so, this is the most aged team in the IPL because the average age for Chennai Super Kings is above 31. So if any player gets injured, finding like-to-like placements as well as experience would be difficult. Talking about Delhi Capitals, personally I'm very impressed with their selection for this season. They have a balanced squad of experience as well as youth. If you talk about the current players that are there in the national team or the ones that have represented India in the past, Delhi Capitals is a team that probably can play without 4 international players. Well, their strength is that they have plenty of options and like-to-like replacements in their playing 11 as well as their bench. Their weaknesses: what is the right combination, or who will open, or who their top 6 are, is a question that they'll have to figure out pretty soon. As far as opportunities are concerned, players like Shikhar Dhawan, Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant can perform well and cement their places for next year's World Cup. At the same time, Alex Carey, Andrick Norgay and Daniel Sams can make their IPL debut for them this season. Talking about threats, the first and biggest threat is that finding the right combination or the winning combination with such a bench strength. And the second is that they only have Kagiso Rabada as an experienced overseas fast bowler. So that might come back and hit them hard because others are medium pacers such as Marcus Stoinis as well as Keemo Paul. Moving on to Kings 11 Punjab. They have strengthened their middle order, which was a necessity because that's where they faltered last season. Glenn Maxwell is back for all the Punjabis supporting Kings 11. The good news, the strength is that KL Rahul is in exceptional form, Chris Gale is the experienced campaigner in T20, and with services from Maxwell as well as Nicholas Pooran, it will prove to be healthy for the batting unit of Kings 11 Punjab. their weakness is their bowling at the moment. Apart from Shami, Sheldon Cottrell, an overseas player, and a couple of few more bowlers that they have in their ranks, there is not much of experience. Yes, there are bowlers like Krishna Gautam for the spin department, but this can prove to be one of the weaknesses for this team. Opportunities at the same time will come for youngsters in the middle order as well as Ravi Bishnoi. Watch out for that bowler because that leg spinner, under 19 leg spinner from India, proved to be very useful in the campaign for the national team. Threats is their consistency. That's something that didn't happen last year, and players like Mayank Agarwal, Karun Nair, who have represented India in the past and have been formidable with the bat, need to be consistent if the team wants to be successful. Up next is Kolkata Knight Riders. The team management has done a very good job in terms of the auctions last year to fill the gaps that had been plaguing the team. Yes, if you talk about their strengths, then that would be the overseas players in the form of Andre Russell, Owen Morgan, their new recruit, Pat Cummins, as well as Sunil Narayan. But the weaknesses for the team is that this team is heavily reliant on these four, and the Indian core comprising of Dinesh Karthik, Nitish Rana, the inexperienced bowlers in the form of Shivam Mavi as well as Kamlesh Nagarkoti haven't had much experience, IPL experience if one would say so. If you talk about opportunities, there are Indian batsmen to look out for. Shubman Gill has been in exceptional form in the domestic circuit. He will be one to look out for the future. There is Tom Banton, who will make his IPL debut along with Chris Green, another couple of players, young prospects that can make an impact in this season of the IPL. The biggest threat for them, which has been the last year as well as in the years gone by, is that the team has been plagued with injuries. Already Harry Gurney has been injured and a replacement for him is being sought. Owen Morgan, while playing against Australia, dislocated his finger, and Pat Cummins also is not 100%. Andre Russell too is suffering with injuries and might not be available to bowl as he wasn't bowling in the Caribbean Premier League. So if their top international bowlers, international players get injured, their foreign overseas get injured, KKR won't have replacements to find, and that's the biggest threat for them.